This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined again by none other than Mr. Dean Whyte, boxing manager. Dean, how are you, mate?
How you doing, my man? You good, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for coming back on, Dean. It's
my pleasure, man.
Just want to dive straight in. We saw a fantastic weekend of heavyweight boxing just gone. Derick Chisora, Joe Joyce. Crazy, classic British slugfest, really. And I think Chisora upset a lot of people. We know,
Yeah, he did indeed. He did. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I haven't actually watched it. I had my own show Saturday. I had Tony Yoka boxing at the Toworth, gold medal Olympian. Tony Yoka was boxing on my card at the Toworth on the weekend. He had a good card down. There was some good fights. So I didn't get to watch it. I did see, however, some of the highlights. And you know, we got to give Derick Chisora the utmost credit, man. He's a true testament to British boxing. Real, true, tough, gritty, hard man. From what I've heard and the little bits I've watched here and there, you know, everyone was saying from the first round he looked very, very tired and cumbersome, but he managed to pull off the win and get the rounds under the bank later on. So, I mean, credit to him. I like Derek. You know, me and him have grown fond of each other after our early turbulent relationship. But, yeah, no, we become mates and, you know, time to time we get on a call and we chat, whatever. But, you know, I'm happy for him, man. Joe Joyce, man, I don't know what's happening to him. Maybe he needs to look at the training team and reevaluate what's going on. But to be honest, you can't change, you know, leopard new, you know, styles and skills. You know what I mean? I can't remember how that bloody saying goes. You can't give new spots, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I don't know what's happening to him, but yeah, it's a tricky one. I know Dillian was there watching, salivating, looking forward to who the potential winner was. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be Joe Joyce, so that's probably what he was kind of leaning towards. But now Derrick's obviously won and Derrick's looking for a trilogy. I hear that it makes sense, but, you know, I'm not sure. I don't know how the public perceive that fight and if they'd want to see it a third time. Maybe they will, because they're two British staple mates of boxing, heavyweight boxing and so on. So, but I mean, Joe Joyce, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what happens to him, man. He's you know, that is the real old lion there, teaching the young cub a little lesson, man.
Do you think that Tony Yoka managed to just put on your card? Is that somewhere that we could look at one of those guys going, Joe Joyce or Derick Chisora?
What do you mean?
Tony Yoka, the heavyweight. He's just I think is that a fight he's looking at making?
Yeah, Tony's making his comeback. He's having a few more fights. And I think they're going to look at the landscape and see who potentially is there for him to fight. I think, yeah, those fights are decent fights for him. As long as he's, you know, confident and on a good winning run. Don Charles knows Derick Chisora better than no one else. So, you know, he'll have his little game plan and know how to maybe beat his former protege, you know what I mean? So, but Derrick, man, he knows the game and he does enough. He always knows how to nick the rounds, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if there's a big calling for that, but I think Tony Yoko's, he's got another fight, maybe September, October, and then I think we'll see, they'll probably look to push him on and get him in some half-decent fights. But, you know, he's a gold medal Olympian, so he should be in the mix to kind of have it with these kind of guys, especially Joe Joyce, because that was the final, silver and gold. So maybe there's some redemption at the end of this. There's a silver lining for Joe Joyce, so if he can get one up on him, I don't know. But, you know, Tony looked strong, he looked sharp, and he got the win. Obviously, it's a different opposition. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think that'd be a good fight for us to revisit the final in the Olympics. Was it 2016 that was it?
I think so, yeah. I can't remember exactly, if I'm being honest.
Was it 40? I think it's like 4 years.
It may have been 14, I think, because when Joyce went over about 2000.
But in it every 4 years, if it's every 4 years, it'd be 2020 and then 2016. I think. I don't.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think it's something like that.
Yeah, it would be. You're right.
But yeah, so let's see what happens, man. But there's some great fights for all the heavyweights out there. So yeah, man, let's see.
Yeah, I mean, just on the Chisora Dillian Whyte rematch, like you say, two great fights that they had, Dean, and the first one brilliant, the second one brilliant, and then Dillian obviously gets the KO. I'm sure Chisora would like a chance of redemption. He said he's got 2 fights left. So do you think that would be the right fight for Dillian at the stage of the career they're both at? Or there's so many other big heavyweight fights going on at the moment?
Yeah, I think for me, I think it's a good fight for Dillian. I think Dillian's probably got a little bit more left in him than Chisora, I'd say, in terms of his legs don't seem as shot. But it doesn't matter about his legs being shot, because Derrick manages to find a will and a way. And tough guy, tough man. So Dillian's probably got a little bit more spring in his step. Obviously, in his fight with Christian Hammer, he was a little bit overweight, but he's looking decent these days. So, you know, as long as he takes the fight with the right frame of mind and in shape, you know, he could potentially do things. But I think Dillian needs some other fights beforehand, because all of these guys, Dillian, in over 2 years, he's had 3 rounds. It's not going to cut it when you're going there with these guys who's been fighting regular and active. So I've said it to him. I've said it to him time and time, and anyone who spoke to me about him fighting any particular guys, because I think, you know, once activity is key for any fighter. Like, as we've seen with Joseph Parker, was on a tremendous run, but now he seems to be tapered out, and he's probably in himself. I think I heard in the interview saying, you know, it's kind of affecting his run, which it is. He needed to stay active because he was sharp and he was a dangerous man because he was an active man. And I think Dillian needs to get that impetus. I think he needs a good 2 fights. If he can get a solid 8 rounds somewhere under, even if it's 4-4 or 5-4, you know, 5-5, or even just 1-10 or whatever, somewhere solid 10 round under his belt, banked with, you know, for your lungs and to see where you're at. It's only going to do him a world of wonders. You know what I mean?
We've seen a lot going on in the heavyweight division, Dean, and just wanted to touch on a few of them. So we've just seen, like, for example, Johnny Fisher out, Alen Babic in 1 round is again one of Dillian's fighters. A lot of talk about where he goes next. Moses Itauma.
You know what? Stars make fights. And I said it to them. I said to Dillian. I said it to Michael Magic Hands management team. I said it's a wrong fight. Stars make fights. Babbage is a small heavyweight. I would have just not liked to see him in there, but it's business, it's money. It's a great opportunity to make a hell of a lot of money. And he hasn't got much options, but big Johnny Fisher, bosh. He got boshed. He got boshed. And it was always going to be that, you know, he's too big, he's too strong. And he's like a poleaxe. He just comes through and just poleaxes everything. And he put it on the plate, Babbage, man. He sat right in front of him like a rabbit in the headlights and got squashed. I like Babbage, and it's a shame because I felt like the matchup, Babbage should be fighting at Bridgerweight or Cruiser. He's too small. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, look, he got paid well. He's got to look at what's on the table. I don't know what he's got left in him, because if he keeps fighting at heavyweight, it's not going to work out, especially for the bigger guys or the stronger guys. But yeah, Babbage and he's got his style. I don't know where it's going, because now it seems that everyone's got his number. If it would be so, you know what I mean? This is the second, or obviously he got his 2 losses, 1 win. Yeah, coming back, I think so.
Yeah,
I think they've got his number a little bit. Some of them, especially the guys who are a little bit above average level still. Yeah.
Just a few more. I want to get your thoughts on, Dean. I don't want to take up too much of your time today. We just saw that. So Marius Watt stopped by Moses Itauma in 2 rounds. Not many people have done that to him. Could we see that fight between two of the young guns in the heavyweight division, Johnny Fisher, Itauma?
I think that's a good fight. I think stylistically, it's you know, the guys. I don't know. It's Itauma. He's a hell of a talent. Johnny Fisher, big puncher, strong, confident. I think it's a good fight. It's not the easiest fight as it looks. Marius Wack, very, very good statement win, but that's a Marius Wack that's way past his best. Dillian fought him what year was that? Maybe 6 years ago.
4 years ago now, was it?
4 or 5 years ago, potentially. And Dillian was coming off another long layoff again, out of shape. And Marius Wack was about 42 then or something. You know what I mean? I don't know, how old is he now? 45, 46?
Yeah, he's definitely 40. I think he's 44. He's getting on.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's still a big statement because, you know, he started to lose to a few guys. And he got, Colley stopped him? Did he? Colley stopped him.
I think Colley stopped him, yeah.
But Matuma, listen, he throws his hands. He doesn't mess about. And he's a southpaw. He's a handful for anyone. But I think, in terms of fights, I think Johnny Fisher boxes good and long. punches hard. I think that's a good fight. Skill set wise, I like Itauma's skills. He steps to the side, he comes out and creates different angles and punches, and he is a nightmare for anyone. So, I mean, I think it's a good fight. I'd like to see down the line. Yeah, hell yeah.
Still just 19 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple more. Then obviously some of the big ones coming up: Dubois, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury, Usyk too. What are your thoughts on those two fights? And are we going to see those as almost semi-finals for the winners fighting each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that's going to be that kind of format because it's just inevitable. Obviously, they've got a title, then it's an opportunity for them to unify all the belts yet again. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the IBF was taken away from Usyk, you know. It's so funny, man. Like I said before, I've had AJ just having that little bit more better pedigree, bit more polished. But then, and I've said I feel AJ beats him convincingly. But then I was with Don Charles, and I went to his house and listen, that guy can persuade anyone to do anything. He gave me such a spiel that I left there confused, thinking that Dubois might just do it because you know when someone talks to you so much and they convince you. So I don't know. He's got his man back to the hilt. So, but I'm not so sure. But I think look, Don's done an amazing job with Daniel Dubois, man. He's come on and he's thrown the dice many times and come out on the right side. So got to big him up, big up Don, and they've done great. And they're gonna back their man and back their horse. I think it's gonna be a great fight while it lasts. But if Daniel Dubois' defense isn't fixed, them kind of punches he shipped early with Hrgovic in that fight, he won't see the bell. He won't see the lasting bell against someone a good finisher like Anthonyjoshua. So yeah. And then back on, sorry, yeah, I forgot we mentioned Usyk and Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury, man, he just needs to take it serious. I think all the showboating, hands down, fucking around, the fanning, he needs to do like Alex Ferguson used to do, squeezy bum time, shut up shop, tight defense, and all the guys just blocking up in midfield and just keeping it solid. He was winning. He knows how to win because he was doing that for about 3 or 4 rounds. And he needs to stop fanning around, get the job done, and just get the win and move on. Obviously, it's easier said than done because Usyk was applying great pressure without doing too much. But I think he needs to not be on the back foot as much because he made the smaller man push him on the back foot. So he works harder and his lungs are working harder. So that was something different for him as well. I think he just needs to box, put the pressure on and try and hold centre of ring and big man him in a little bit and just kind of just use his weight and use his size, man, and do what he does best, what we've seen him do, you know what I mean? But look, this is one of the best to ever do it. So it's whatever we're saying, it's just words because no one's able to manage to capitalize to do that. I think one of the best people that actually did that was Derick Chisora, and I thought he probably won that fight. And even he said that was his hardest fight. So if that's the man saying that, we know that was something else. And when I said it, people thought I was crazy. If you go back all them years and watch the interview, I felt like Derrick was actually winning a lot of them rounds and probably just nicked it. But look, it is what it is. Like I said, Derrick is a historian in boxing and will go down as one of the old-time greats in British boxing.
Just sorry, one more I forgot to mention as well because there's Jarrell Miller, Andy Ruiz. I think this weekend.
Good fight, Crawford and that. What's that?
Could be Madrimov.
Madrimov, that's it in LA. Good fights, man. Look, that Saudi. I was actually meant to go with him. I'm actually going to be in America this weekend, but
yeah, you said I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, but no, I'm not going there. They took too long to get back to me, and I just thought I'd do something else.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to book. You know, I wasn't hearing back from them in time, and then they got back to me. But I already booked where I was going to go, and I started setting plans. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just go and enjoy myself somewhere else. Good fights, man. Crawford, that's a tough fight. I think Crawford should have enough to do it, but that guy's a big unit. Who did he last fight? That guy, he had a hell of a fight with someone in his last fight.
He's got the belt though, has it?
I can't remember. He had a fight with someone. When I mean it was razor close. I can't remember. I don't know. Is he undefeated still, that guy?
Well, I think Madrimov is undefeated. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know tons about Madrimov.
Yeah, no, do I. But I can't remember. He had a solid fight. But I mean, that's a good fight. The fight between Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller found his way back into big time boxing. I don't know how, but he's done credit to himself anyway. He's got good fight. I think I think Andy Ruiz beats him. I don't know, because Andy Ruiz, we've seen pictures of him eating hot dogs and all kinds of shit. they got every 4K, 5K at the stand. So I don't know what kind of Andy Ruiz we're going to see. But I mean, if it's a hungry Andy Ruiz and a dedicated one that's applied himself and put himself in shape, then I think he'll beat him. But let's see.
Dean, I know you want to get to the part with your kids, and I don't blame you. So, is there anything else you want to add before?
No. Just thanks for having me as usual. I think we're going to announce another show for October the 19th, back in Tolworth. Alfie Clegg will be fighting for the lightweight Commonwealth silver title, and hopefully we'll have some Southern area eliminators on there as well. So stay tuned and stay posted. Thanks very much.
Look forward to seeing that, Dean, and thank you again for your time, mate. You're a gent.
All right, top man. Appreciate it, my man.
Cheers, Dean.
All right, all the best.